Hello and welcome to this advanced Python chatbot video, brought to you by none other than the coronavirus, which is keeping us all home and giving me time to do YouTube videos for the first time in something like 18 months. So here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be writing an advanced Python chatbot that uses an AI technique known as sentiment analysis to ask open-ended questions. So not only does this chatbot have open-ended questions, it randomizes how it says hello, it randomizes how it says goodbye, it randomizes topics that it asks you about, and it even randomizes how it asks you about these topics. So every single conversation that you have with it has something like a 99% chance of being unique. So let's see how it works. Hello human, what is your name? I'm just gonna go with a Bob, standard. Do you have a nickname? At this point, we could say yes or no. If we say no, the computer will just add a Y and that'll be our nickname. How are things going, Bobby? We need a space there. Well, we'll fix that later. How are things going? Things are going great. Loving Netflix at the moment. I'm glad. How do you feel about Melbourne? Now, Melbourne is one of our random topics. Here's the rest of them. And you could talk about it however you like. You know, I love Melbourne. It's a cool city to live in. Cool, you like Melbourne, and you're a bit biased. What is your take on computers? Well, I love computers. You know, computers are awesome. Everyone should love them. All right. Wow, you really love computers and you're so biased. Bye-bye, Miss American Pie, I am out. And that's the bye-bye greeting. So it either asks you, I think, 2 or 3 questions. As I said, randomizes what it says for goodbye, randomizes everything. And if we ran this again, we would get a completely different, if I say, Sanjin, do you have a nickname? Yes. Whoa, I'll call myself boss. How about that? Greetings, boss. Are you well? It's a different greeting. Good, thanks. And it asks me about computer games this time. Why don't I just, for fun, give a negative answer, and you'll see the response. They are a horrible waste of time. I don't really think that, but whatever. Not a fan of computer games and a bit biased. And it asks me about Melbourne again, but differently. What do you reckon about Melbourne? Melbourne is nice, especially in the summer. See, cool, you like Melbourne, and you're so biased. What do you think about Endgame? It's a comic-based thing, and I did not watch it. So I wonder if it'll come out. Yeah, see, that's neutral. So it basically reads positive, very positive, neutral, negative, very negative feelings. And I dare say it's a pretty awesome chatbot. So you should probably stick around and watch me build it. But before I do, I'm going to actually turn on this camera and just tell you a little bit about where this comes from. So if you have been following this YouTube channel, I'm sorry, it's been too long. But this is some of the stuff I've been doing. So this is a project funded by the Australian government. It's called a DIGITECH Hub. And I created a very large resource, a series of videos with challenges, questions. So this is for kids in year 7 to 10. And this chatbot basically is where this sequence culminates. And if you're really keen on this type of, emotion sensing, there is another unit on analyzing books with Python. So all of this stuff is completely free, as I said, thanks to the government, they paid for it. And the links are going to be below, so you could do it step by step. But if you're a gun at Python, you'll probably be able to follow my tutorial and just do it that way. Okay, let's get started. All right, blank canvas. So let's rock and roll. So we're going to do this in really 4 steps. First up, we're going to import the libraries. Then we're going to have this name and nickname conversation. It's going to ask you for the name, follow up by either giving you or accepting a nickname for you. Then it's going to give you a random greeting. And this is the sort of tricky one. So there's going to be a random way to ask you about a random topic. And it'll even randomize the number of times it asks you about that topic. So there's going to be some tricky coding here just to make sure it never asks the same question on the same topic twice. And then there's going to be a random goodbye. So let's begin with the libraries. So the first library that we use is random, and we also use text blob, but I'm going to import it in a special way. I'm going to say from the library text blob, we will import the text blob function. And that's the only function we're going to use. A really useful one, because this blob here is going to have an attribute, a property of its own that's going to be the sentiment. So that's going to be whether something is positive or negative. Now, name and nickname conversation. So we start off with, printing something like, hello human, what is your name? We ask that. So we could do this with an input statement, or we could do it on separate lines. Typically for beginners, I really like to do it in separate lines. So name equals the input. So this will ask the name. And then we can ask, do you have a nickname? And we should be able to accommodate yes or no. Or, if we want to get a bit fancy, we can accommodate Y or N. So a simple way to do this, so ans equals the input. A simple way to do this would be something like if the letter Y, so if that is in ans.lower. Basically, if the user's answer includes Y, they should be saying yes. And this should work, 99% of the time. And if it doesn't work, well, that's just too bad. So if that is the case, then we can ask about what the user's nickname is. So print, what is your nickname? In fact, why don't I just do this as an input, just to show you nickname equals to input. So that's another way I could have done this question and this question. So then it's going to ask you for your nickname, and after you give it, print good to meet you plus nickname. And otherwise, so this is if the answer was yes. And else we can just say nickname equals to nickname plus Y. You could do a better job. You might be able to maybe we can do the last letter. I think this is how you do the last letter of the nickname, of the name string. But that might come out bad if that last letter is a vowel. Like if it's Bob, it'll call it Bobby with double B, and that'll be cool. So this is a double-edged sword, but we might just do this. By the way, I'm typing on the Silicon keyboard, and I've had it for a while now, but I'm not used to it still. Print, I will call you, plus nickname. Okay. Yeah, man, let's run it. let's see what happens. Import. Oh yeah, import. Random. Genius, how'd I forget that? Okay, hello human, what is your name? Bob. No. I will call you Bye. Yep. Name plus name -1. Let's try that again. Bob. No. I'll call you Bobby. There you go. So far, so good. Again, apologies for that. That was, I don't know how I left that there. Okay, what's next? Greeting selection. So like a random greeting. And this is going to be done by creating a list. So how would I, if I called it greetings. Greetings is a list. And in that list, we can have something, comma, something else. You get what I mean. So you can copy and paste this, and we can have as many greetings as we want, and we can use the name or nickname inside the greetings. So I'm just tempted to really, you're basically going to ask some questions like how are you and stuff like that. I'll just copy and paste that. That's actually not any code there. The only thing is, though, we really should use your nickname in there. So how are you feeling today? All right. Let's see. Plus nickname plus. So I'm going to have a quotation marks here and a quotation mark there. And if I copy and paste this, I can get rid of that. Howdy. So we can ask the question like that. What's up? That's a tougher one. So if we do it like what's up plus nickname, and then that'll be the question mark. Greetings, boom, nickname, are you well? How are things going? Like that. Okay, let's test this out. To save time will be Bob. Nope. I'll call you Bobby. And by the way that this works is we print a random choice of these. So this is what we needed. Print random.choice greetings. Okay. I'm a little rusty. I created this like 4 or 5 months ago. What? Hello human, what is your name? Alright, fine. I'll be Sanjin. No, I'll call you Sanjin. What's up? Okay. So far, so good. So we've gotten a sort of name, nickname conversation, a random greeting, and we are now going to broach this question on random opinions on topics. Although, maybe not quite yet. I guess I would need to figure out how to answer this. So this is already a point at which we can use the text blob. So how are you feeling? If this is a question, A and S can be an input. And we can create a blob, and that is the text blob of A and S. So that is, that's where their answer is going to be saved. That's the blob, and there is a, we have this blob.polarity. So I'll show you how that works. So if blob.polarity is greater than 0, then that's a positive answer. So you could print, glad you are doing well. And there could be an else, print sorry to hear that. So right here, we are actually handling the answer to that question. Let's go be Bob again. And we say no, we're gonna be Bobby. And it doesn't... What happened there? That Bob there messed things up. So that's random greetings. Guys, did I just accidentally delete a bunch of stuff? Yeah. Sorry. Let's try that again. Bob. No. Oh, the random.choice needs to go there. All right. Here we go. Bob. Do you have a nickname? No. Bobby. Greetings, Bobby. Are you well? Yes, I am doing fantastic. Glad you're doing well. Okay, so that works. Yeah, the main lesson here is type more carefully on silicon keyboards. On a serious note, we are already past the first and the second goal. And the third one is probably the trickiest one. So there's going to be two elements. There's going to be a way that you can ask something like, what do you think about? What do you reckon? And so on. And then there's going to be random topics. So again, there is absolutely no coding involved here. So I'm going to do a little bit of copy and paste magic. Copy, paste. Okay, so there is a selection of topics and then a selection of questions. So what we're going to do with a selection of topics and questions is we're first going to try just one. So we're going to say question equals to random.choice questions. That makes sense. And then topic equals to random.choice topics. Okay, so you have a random question and a random topic. And now you can just print question plus topic plus question mark. Question plus topic plus question mark. One thing you might want to do though is notice that there are spaces here. I could have just basically, yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. I could have just added a space there as well, but that should work. So this right here should at least ask me the random question. We cannot handle it yet. Sanjin, nah. How are you today? Great. I would like your opinion on football. Excellent. So, okay, we're getting there. So now we need to think of a range of answers for polarity. So in effect, we can copy like what we've had before, right? I mean, we have an answer, we convert that to a blob, and now we check the levels. Well, we need to do this at multiple levels. So I would need to check, polarity of 1 is maximum. So 0.5 is really quite positive. 0.1 is like a little bit positive. And then there's going to be neutral. So let's just begin with something high. So if polarity is that, then we have a very positive view on the topic. Print OMG, you really love, and now we can add the topic that was selected. Next thing you want to check is an elif. And, frankly, we copy this to save time. If that's greater than, you clearly like topic. Alright, so we've checked. Now we can the else is gonna be the neutral one. So now we could check slightly negative. Or should we check the very negative first? Because if it's very negative, it checks them in order. So we need to check the extremes first. Elif. Actually, again, power of copy and paste. I'd feel like if I was copying from my other file, I'd be cheating, but less than negative 0.5. So, not 0.05, 0.5. So, that's actually you hating something. And, woof. You totally hate. And what else is there? Yeah, less than 0.1. So you don't like. Yes, well, double quotation marks shall fix that. So you don't like topic. Sorry to hear that. And else, the else is quite neutral. And you can say that is a very neutral view on okay. That's that. I think it's probably ready to test, hey. So only ask us one topic. So, hello human, what is your name? We're gonna be Bob again. Nickname? Nah. Call you Bobby, how are you today? Let's fix that. How are you today? Where is that? Space. Right there. What's up, space? How are things going, space? Okay. How are you today, Bobby? I am doing great. What do you think about football? It is the best sport in the world. I think it is amazing. OMG, you really love football. Okay, so far so good. So now for the tricky thing, right? How do we put this whole thing in a loop? What do we put in a loop? I suppose this is the selection that needs to be done in a loop. And you can easily indent this and ask, 2 or 3 questions. But how do we remove the topics that, once you've asked a question, you don't want to ask it again? So let's highlight all this. You select topic and then you're going to stick to it. So I'm going to tab that for I in range. And depends, do we want to ask 3 or 4? Let's go 3 or 4. So either 3 times or actually 0, random dot rand int. So that'll ask 3 or 4 questions right there. Okay. This should work. The only problem is we need to remove. I think we could do it like this. Questions dot remove question. And then you do the same thing for the topics in here. Come on. So that was going to be topics dot remove topic. Okay, that might be slightly excessive laziness in terms of me not writing it there. But that should, let's just, Didi, how you feeling? Good. All right. How you feel about computers? Something. Neutral. And it asks you about computers, Endgame, and Melbourne. It doesn't. 4 topics. Good. That works. I haven't done the, graduated answers, but that all works. So this removal stuff here functions really well. So now we could do subjectivity. Now that polarity works, and now once I put the subjectivity in, then we can do some serious testing. So that's going to be a lot more straightforward because blob.subjectivity goes only from 0 to 1, right? So 0 to 0.3 is really quite objective. So if blob.subjectivity is greater than 0.3, should we check the actual, what should we check first? No, 0.6. 0.6 is going to be print. And you're so biased. Should we do it like this? One thing that can be done, if you know how to deal with print characters, you can add a removal of a new line character at the end of this. So you could do the second line in one line. That might actually be pretty cool. I'm not going to do it because this tutorial is already dragging on. So 0.6, so biased. So here we can do an elif 0.3, and you are a bit biased. And else, if you're not a bit biased now, or very biased, well, clearly you're quite objective. Print. And quite objective. Okay, so real test coming up. Here we go. Bob, do you have a nickname? Let's go no, or let's go yes this time. Yes. What's your nickname? Robert. Alright, usually goes the other way around. What is your nickname? That definitely needed to have this and a space. Good. Greetings, Robert. Are you well? I am. Maybe Robert is not doing well. I'm doing terribly bad. Terribly bad. Comma, not good. Okay, sorry to hear that. I'd like your opinion on Endgame. It is utter trash. It hurts me to watch it. Should be very negative. Very neutral. Okay, so this is the library not doing too well, because trash is a noun. It actually isolates adjectives. So any insults that don't use adjectives are going to be quite neutral. It's actually very hard to do that, but there you go. We have one. What do you think about computers? I very much like using computers. They are fun. You clearly like computers, and you're quite objective. So maybe we can say, and you are quite objective. What do you think about, what do you reckon about AFL? Oh, I hate it. That should be easy. Oof, you totally hate AFL. And you're so biased. Okay, so everything works. All we need to do is say goodbye. And frankly, that is the very same thing we've done for questions and then random choice topics. Same thing we've done for greetings. And now we're going to do goodbye. And frankly, you know, I'll paste it. Copy and paste. Okay. There you go. That's all you need to know to create an advanced Python chatbot. I would totally love it if you guys could upgrade it. Now, this link where you can see the code is going to be right here. So I encourage you to copy that, open it. If you can upgrade it, post that in the comments. The links to these tutorials that are extensive that I created are also going to be in there, as well as my new website that's going to involve Python tutoring and advanced courses and boot camps that I'm working on as we speak. And I guess one final thing. If, let's say, what's a good number of likes? If you guys leave 50 likes on this video, and this is like the shameless video promotion, I will do something cool. I am going to find a way to track statistics of how many people like Python Endgame and all these things. And then the comment is not going to be whether you're only positive or negative. It will comment on what most people think about all of these topics. So not only will it be a little bit intelligent, it will have memory and reference that memory when talking to future users. So yeah, if you're really keen to see that, leave a like and hope for the best. Okay, bye-bye. See you later.